I think I went on for 3 minutes there trying to tell this story.
No, you did. And Mika, please, we all knew this moment was coming. 6 months ago, at some point, the server was going to end up in the hands of somebody. And why they made it so that it got dragged out of them rather than early on them being proactive. You know, this is now going to do nothing to help her politically, nothing to help sort of get rid of the taint that they were looking for something to hide, and instead it looks like that they are reluctantly cooperating with an investigation. They're not happy about it, but all right, here you go. Here it is finally. And oh, by the way, it's blank. Good luck. You know, they could have done this 6 months ago.
Yeah. Can I point out the spin, too? The spin is, if you read what the Clinton, staffers are putting out, they're saying this is nonsense. They're playing it up as if it's a partisan witch hunt, like the vast right-wing conspiracy. I mean, this is the Obama administration's IG, the Obama administration's Justice Department, the Obama administration's FBI that are looking into this. And the Clinton campaign is really playing it up as if, you know, somehow Newt Gingrich is somehow secretly behind this.
Yeah.
If the FBI is looking into your handling of email, like, you know, it's bad news. You can't spin that. It's the FBI, and they have your email server, and they wanted it.
No.
And now it's blank.
I'm just going to read the news here. Republican presidential candidates were quick to make hay over the slew of reports on Hillary Clinton's email server.
And then you have Hillary Clinton, who was the Secretary of State, dealing with confidential information, with classified information, thinking it was okay to use a private server, thinking that her server would be safer than the State Department's firewalls. We need a president that recognizes that there are threats in the 21st century that are dramatically different than the threats of 30 years ago.
Whether she's in legal trouble or not, if people are paying attention, they recognize that someone in her position who doesn't realize that they are putting the nation's security at risk by doing what they're doing, how in the world are you going to turn the keys over to them? Are you kidding me?
If Hillary Clinton does in fact prove to have given out top secret emails and made those available and sent them to anyone, then it's going to be real hard for her to have a consequence that would be much less than that of David Petraeus, for whose crime he was actually convicted and sentenced.
Sam Stein.
Yeah.
So if Hillary Clinton wins the nomination, I would vote for her.
Mm-hmm.
But how does she get there with this sort of... How does that happen? How do you have a private email server as Secretary of State and scrub it and think that's going to be okay? I just want to know. It's not nonsense.
It's not.
From I said about my vote to that isn't them that we just heard from, because that's going to happen. You know, when she's on the big stage, if she's fighting a Republican opponent for the presidency. I mean, how does this happen? What's the explanation for this that makes it real?
It's one of the great lingering questions around all of this, which is, at what point did you decide that you wanted a strictly personal email account for your public business, and what was the reasoning behind it? We can speculate. I mean, my guess is that she either wanted to talk politics or she wanted to avoid Freedom of Information Act requests. But clearly the price that she's paying for that decision is enormous. And I think, you know, we can debate whether it will affect her in a primary election, a general election. But, you know, for months now we've been talking about this email setup that she had. And there's still lingering questions. Mike Huckabee, may have gone a little bit ahead of himself there, but Clinton has said definitively she never knowingly sent classified information on her emails, on her email server. If it comes out in the course of this investigations that she did, that would be incredibly, incredibly
to my
damaging.
point, Chuck Todd, I'll let you round up the block here, but this is to my point of candidates pretending things don't exist. So you're going to tell me something doesn't exist, and I'm going to believe you. And you think the American public is that stupid? That's very insulting.
And not only that, she's wasted this whole summer allowing this to be sitting in the background. They could have been fully transparent right from the start, handed over this server immediately. And looking back, it looks even sillier now that they've held this back. Their rationale before was, well, this is, sort of the if you give a mouse a cookie aspect to the Benghazi committee. But now they've handed it over, they're not getting any of the benefit for transparency. And if anything, this thing just continues to linger. I have to say, when you really look back at this thing, this really has been a poorly handled issue all summer long, because it has been just sitting there like this dark cloud hovering over